intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com.
Man, I feel I'm the best in the sport, and to be the best, you got to be the best.
BoxingVoice.com. To be one champion, one face, one name. His name's Deontay Wilder. BoxingVoice.com.
It's the fact that I've been one of the kick down for the longest time.
110%. There's no doubt in my mind that fight will happen. There's no doubt in my mind I'll beat Wilder as well.
I'm scaring heavyweights each and every time. Don't you see it? You know, I am the most feared. And if I'm not, then I want somebody to shut me up. I want somebody to prove that to me. I want to be proven wrong. But right now, I don't feel like nobody's gonna prove me wrong. Who has the guts?
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another morning afterthought as we come back the morning after, have a little coffee, light the J, and just reminisce on what took place Saturday night, a jam-packed day of fights with a fantastic main event. Jermell Charlo gets revenge, stops Harrison and drops him quite a few times, regains his WBC title, and these are the morning afterthoughts, man. Just waking up and, want to see how you guys feel about the performance, mulling over everything that took place last night. I mean, you have to give Jermell Charlo 33-1. Only loss coming to the man who he defeated yesterday via knockout. 17 KOs, adding to that KO streak last night, overcoming a very tough challenge, not only physically but mentally. A lot of us thought that Charlo wouldn't be able to overcome that mental hurdle that Harrison was placing in front of him. Talking, teasing, all types of things. Air guitaring the WBC belt. He had to be getting under Charlo's skin, but Charlo stuck to the game plan. Very, I would say, militant-minded, coming forward, wanting to get his guy out of there. For the first couple of rounds, I was a little bit afraid. I'm like, all right, this guy's going to lose. This guy being Charlo, because he was just winging shots with everything on him. And I thought, I honestly thought that somehow he would tire out because he was missing so many of those big shots. But little by little, man, he started to connect. He started to keep that mental pressure on Harrison, making Harrison switch up his game, which was also fantastic to see Harrison able to change gears and adjust. And he did, and he was having some success, staying in on the inside, doubling up that left hook to the body. But definitely Harrison's specialty was the left hook to the body. You got to give Jermell credit. I mean, I seen Harrison land so many of those, and it really didn't slow him down. It didn't slow Charlo down at all. And, I mean, he just kept coming, ferocious. Definitely a man with a mission, focused, determined is what you've seen in that ring. Determination. He just kept trying. Man, he really impressed me. I was always high on the Charlos before, but overcoming everything that Harrison was presenting to him before the fight and sticking to his guns in that ring, it was impressive. He has a quote out there now, says something like, I didn't leave it to the judges. I knocked them out. And that's honestly the best thing that he could have done. He was up on the cards from what I remember, but it's still the best thing that he could have done. You know, the morning after show for Anthony Joshua probably didn't have this same energy because Joshua chose to, as he likes to put it, steal the belts. You know, he felt Fury went in there and stole the belts when he outboxed Klitschko and ran and moved around. So I think that now, you know, he kind of did the same, but Jermell, he decided not to leave that bad taste in our mouth, that sour taste of, well, he didn't win the fight the way that he normally wins it, like Joshua, right? Joshua switched up the game plan, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's showing versatility. That's showing gears. That's showing levels. But there's something to say about a guy like Jermell that goes in there, doesn't change the game plan, doesn't listen to the critics, doesn't listen to the YouTube videos telling him that he's emotional, telling him that Harrison is under his skin. He doesn't change anything. He doesn't bring any new trainers in. He just goes back to the lab, focuses, and gets the job done in phenomenal fashion. Phenomenal fashion. He suffered a cut in the second round, but really, you know, obviously Harrison had success throughout the fight, but never quite to the nature of Jermell Charlo. Charlo truly being the aggressor, Harrison being the villain. This fight really played out well, and I'm interested to see what the numbers were like. The buildup was there. Everything that we asked fighters to do, these two did it. And I'm wondering if these numbers would indicate that a lot of people tuned in, and is it worth it to these men to do the trilogy? You know, they're 1-1 now. I know Charlo wants to move on, and many people probably want him to because, you know, unification is probably the best thing on the horizon for that division, but they made for some entertaining fights, and they made for some great build-up. So very interested to see where they go from here. We know that the other man in the division, who is Julian Williams, is scheduled to face Jenison Rosario, and that'll be pretty soon coming up. So we'll finally get some sort of answers as to whether or not we're going to get a undisputed or a unification. Undisputed probably being a little bit more difficult to do, being as though that WBO title is on the Golden Boy side of things, with Patrick Teixeira just capturing it. Everything else is on the PBC side, and it's a matter of Jermell and Julian Williams to sit down and get this fight. I know it's something that Jermell wanted, and in the article that I read on Boxing Scene, he feels like Harrison held him up from that. He had the belt, and he kind of slowed up Charlo's plans. His plans are back on track, and that is to unify. We got a quick super chat from Henry Brown that says, Ness, I won Charlo by KO. Bet time for 100 burpees. Well, you won't be betting me 100 burpees. I'd rather give you $100 than do 100 burpees. No way, Jose. Kelly Thompson says, if Harrison said he was in Charlo's head, then how come he didn't see the left hooks coming? Very true, man. He did get hit with a lot of left hooks. I mean, look, I think it has to do more with the determination of Charlo. His game plan was to stay in Harrison's face and make it uncomfortable all night. And, you know, you got to give credit to Harrison. I mean, he had a lot of success backing up Charlo. For some rounds, he was backing him up. He was the one on the inside, and I really was impressed with his body work. You know, he was doing a 1-2-3, mixing that body shot to the left hook to the body instead of upstairs, and I felt like he had a lot of success. He just could not capitalize the way that Jermell did. Now we have another super chat coming from Kaz, who says, Money May era is over. Charlo, Spence, Bud, Wilder, #Black Warrior era. They're not coming to box you. They coming to destroy you. Fist emoji. I mean, I guess it definitely the names that you listed off definitely have been putting it in that fashion. Definitely have been giving us some guaranteed action. It's something that we can count on. Like I'm hoping I can count on you because I see those thumbs up button just are not equating to the amount of live viewers that we have. So if you are watching this show live right now, TV, phone, doesn't matter, Xbox, hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show, helps us grow. Remember, we are a 7-day-a-week show. I'm coming back. It's Sunday at afternoon here in the East Coast, 9 a.m. in the West Coast. So come on, show some love. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get this show in the eyes of many. Those are basically my thoughts, man. Jermell Charlo overcame a very, very, very tough Tony Harrison. I want to see Tony Harrison get another opportunity after this. He played the role of the villain well. He did his job in building this fight, and he did his job in the ring. So I would definitely be interested in seeing what's next for Tony, just as for storyline, because, again, he did his thing. He sold this fight along with Charlo. They definitely kept us entertained, not only in but outside of the ring as well, which is half of the battle for sure. You have to perform like Charlo did, but you also, I can't say you also have to, but boxing fans definitely want you to have some sort of no love at all for your opponent and want to destroy him the way that Charlo was out there seeking to destroy. But yeah, remember, hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Don't forget to subscribe right here to the YouTube channel. We're about 28 people away from having 112,000 subscribers. So we need about another 28 to help us get to the next milestone, and only you can do it. So if you've already subscribed, don't worry about it. You can still help by telling a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to the YouTube channel and having them call in and be part of the show just like you. We're going to go ahead and get to these phone lines, open them up, and really see what the people have to say. This is the Morning Afterthoughts, and we're looking to see after you laid your head down and this fight played over and over in your head while you counted sheep, what did you think? What are your thoughts the next day? Who performed? I don't know. Talk to me. Let's get on out to the sponsors, and then we'll get to any calls. Remember the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
It is hard to continue developing new content and covering the sport as thorough as we do without contributions from loyal listeners like you. If you enjoyed listening to the Boxing Voice Radio and find it informative and entertaining, please consider making a donation.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
All right. Good morning to all. We're going out to Donald in Richmond, California. What it do?
Damn, y'all ain't got no callers, huh? I just literally got one. But about that Charlo fight last night, I think that if Harrison he didn't get knocked down, I think they was gonna rob him on the scorecards because all the way up until like the 11th round, I only gave I had it here. Right here. I gave Charlo round 2 because he got the knockdown, so I had round 2 10-8, and then I gave Charlo round 4. And I gave Charlo round 10, but from what I've seen, Harrison was outboxing him and getting the better of it, outboxing him. And I thought that if he didn't get those knockdowns in the 11th round and stop Tony Harrison, on my card, I would have had Tony Harrison beating Charlo by a wide unanimous decision, much more wider than from the last fight, because after the knockdown in the second round, Harrison brought the fight to Charlo, which it worked out good for Harrison from how the rounds were going. But my honest opinion, I thought it was a bad idea because Tony always gasses out. So when he started standing in front of Charlo and walking Charlo down, I was like, he's winning the rounds, but I was like, he's probably going to gas out like later on and probably get stopped. he should have stuck to the same plan as last time as how he outboxed him. But I think that, in his opinion, he didn't think that he would get the decision from outboxing him because of how things went last time. So after the knockdown, he probably felt like, you know what, I got to bring it to him. I got to make it look more convincing if I beat him. But I just thought it was a bad idea because Tony, he doesn't have good stamina in the later rounds.
I didn't think about that during the fight. But I get what you're saying. I did, on the other hand, like when Tony switched it up and started to come forward, pushing Charlo back, and it was easier for him to win rounds that way. It was easier for the commentators to assume he won rounds, easier for Marcos Viega, who was doing the unofficial scorecard, to assume he won rounds. So I get what you're saying. But even though Charlo was behind on the card, he just never stopped, though. That's the thing. He never stopped, and it was taking a lot of energy from Tony to do what he did. But we're going out to Boomerang in New Orleans. J Matt.
Yeah, good morning, Ness.
What it do?
My take up on the fight last night was I watched the fight where Tony Harrison clearly looked like he was winning the fight better than he did in the first fight, and I was confused by the scorecards. Even after the knockdown, they say they had Charlo up, which was totally didn't make no sense to me because Tony Harrison, after the knockdown, changed the fight up and started bringing it to Charlo. And Charlo didn't look as comfortable as game ready on that back foot. Yeah, he was jumping in. Yeah, he still had his energy, but I felt like Harrison was winning the fight. Like I'm gonna agree with Donald from Richmond. Like I would agree that Charlo was winning the fight. I'm confused, and anytime Lennox Lewis go against the guy or say the guy not doing enough, they give it to that guy. So maybe when Lennox Lewis calling fights for a certain guy, he's saying that the guy not doing enough, but that guy always win the fight. In the first fight, he was saying Harrison was fighting a certain way, but Harrison won the fight. In this fight, his commentary for Charlo, he was critiquing Charlo and giving Harrison praise, and Charlo still won the fight, and he was still going to win the fight even without the knockdown. I mean, like I said, that's my first call because I want to get my second call, but it was still a good fight.
All right, we'll come back to you, Boomerang status. We going out to the Detroit.
Motherfucking murder, mayhem, last words of the stainless. Told you I would kill you, squeeze after I aim it. If you're talking money, then you're speaking my language. Or shut the fuck up in grown folks' conversation.
Yo, appreciate this morning show. You know I do. I was stalking you early, like, yo, we ain't doing no morning after. Shit, man, I don't know what made you come up with this idea, man, but it's a good idea because that morning after, man, we all wake up like, yo, what about the fight? And so far, man, I'm with everybody else. Yeah, Charlo won by knockout, but them scorecards is a little suspect, man. Like I gave him the knockdown in that second round, but I had it like 7-3, like 8-2, 7-3 maybe. So I don't know how the hell Charlo was so far ahead. I mean, he gave a good showing of himself, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking this mad shit because I know CYP ain't got no voice, so I'm on my Canelo shit. He ain't ready, so I'm going to take advantage of it. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, Charlo just seemed like he was too in his head and not ready for that fight, you know what I'm saying, with Harrison. Like, I ain't going to say Harrison was landlord, but he definitely was squatting in one of them rooms for free. That's all I got for now, man. I'm going to chime back in, too. I want to hear what some of these other callers got to say, man. Peace.
All right. Well, Stanless, man, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Sal in Milwaukee. Talk to us. Good morning.
What's good, Ness? Can you hear me, dog?
Loud and clear.
All right, check this out. I don't know if you spoke on it or not. I just got in, so I ain't hear everything you said. But, Ness, don't you think the fight should have been stopped after the second knockdown in the 11th? Because didn't the ref stop Charlo from punching him? And Harrison wasn't even down yet. Ain't that a stoppage, Ness?
Yeah, but I think he was bent over on the ropes, though. So, like, if the ropes is holding you up, the ref has the discretion to call it a knockdown because the ropes are holding you up or held you up.
But I didn't think the ropes was holding him up. He was beating that boy to death in the 11th round.
You talking about when he landed like 5 left uppercuts?
Man, hell yeah. He was beating that boy ass and he was going down, but the ref stepped in like, oh, stop beating his ass. Like that should have been a stoppage, in my opinion. He should have stopped the fight right there because he stepped in.
I don't think you guys are realizing who was the ref, man. This year alone, we've talked about this motherfucking ref 4 times, and they still keep putting him in big fights. It was Jack Reese, bruh. This the fourth. This the fourth time or the third time already. Like something needs to be done. Look, I'm not saying I had an issue with it, but people.
But I'm just saying, like, it was a premature stoppage.
Exactly.
But I'm like, I
don't think it was premature. I don't think so, bruh. It was like 11.
Responding. It was he got hit with like 12 shots straight.
I counted at least 5 left uppercuts, bruh. At least 5.
That shit was deadly. I respected Charlo because you said it best though, Ness. I thought Harrison was in the nigga head. He clearly was, but props to Charlo because he stayed focused. He went more to the body this fight and wasn't just head hunting. He was mixing it up. Even though I had Harrison up, you know what I'm saying? I had Harrison up like 2 or 3 rounds. I gotta look at my card.
It seemed like everybody had Harrison up, man. He was doing some real good work. But like, let's be real. Even the shot where he got knocked down, he was doing good work. And I told my girl, I'm like, damn, he got greedy. Cause he hit him with it was like a short left and a short right. And then fucking Charlo clipped him with the left. Cause he stood in the pocket too long. But that was before he actually decided to stay in the pocket. That was just in the middle of boxing. When he decided, yo, I'm going to push Charlo back, that's when that fight got real interesting. He was going to that body real nice. Look, man, I'm not mentioning the scorecards because we was here before with Mayweather, right? Like, they gave Canelo a draw scorecard. Like, we always see bad scorecards, man. It's not really nothing we can do besides complain and hope that one day shit change, but you know, we always see bad scorecards, man. I mean, I'm never going to forget Canelo Mayweather, how they gave my man a draw, and that's my man's in them, but how they gave him a draw, I'll never know, you know what I mean? So scorecards are scorecards, man. That's why I really like what Charlo said, man. I didn't leave it up to the judges, and honestly, man, we all been watching this sport long enough to know that it's bad. You don't want to leave it up to the judges. You just don't. You know, I know maybe y'all like, yo, you can't just not say nothing, man. We got to say something that ain't fair. You right. It ain't fair. We can say something. Me particularly, I'm just tired of that shit. I'm just tired of scorecards always being wrong because if you think about it with an open mind, they not really wrong, man. None of us score the same. Like, I like boxers. So what Harrison was doing, I was in love with. I score for the boxer. You know what I'm saying? Some people like the aggressor. What if I was rest in peace Harold Letterman? I would have loved what Charlo was doing. He was coming forward. He was making the fight in some spots until Harrison turned that shit around, started bringing the pain to him. But all I'm saying is, man, some people score for the aggressor. Some people score for the counter puncher. Some people score for the ring general. Some people tie it all together. You know what I mean? So it's just hard to say, man. Luckily, like I said, he took it out of the hands of the judges.
Mr. PBC, baby. BoxingVoice.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit up. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo, what's good?
Good morning, Seattle.
Hey, man, that was still a good fight. I know everybody's talking about scorecards, but you know he kept on swinging, and that's what I liked about Charlo. I mean, he kept on swinging, and when he knocked him down the first time, I was like, damn, Tony's gonna have to step on that gas. But like that jab Tony got is real serious. That straight jab. I don't think Charlo knew what to do with that one. But he got the win. Congratulations for fucking getting your title shot back, man. Like, for real. You know, because he was really in his head for a minute. But when I seen the final weigh-in, it looked like Charlo was cool with it. He was like, fuck it. This nigga ain't bothering me no more. Let's get it. Because, you know, Tony was looking real stupid, you know, doing all that antics and shit, you know. I think Charlo really just tired of it. Really, I'm with Charlo. PBC doing a great job, and yeah, I want to see Daniel Jacobs versus Charlo. I want to see
Daniel Jacobs
Andre
at
versus
168, and this Charlo's at 154, right?
Hey, move up then. I'm talking about all around. I don't give a fuck. These motherfuckers moving up. I want to see hella people versus Charlo, man.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. You got your boomerang, so go ahead and let me know when you're ready. We're going out to JT Mac.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm with my brother on this one. Dane, I feel like Harrison won the fight. He was even winning that round. That he got knocked down in the second round. Harrison got in Charlo head. So I mean, Charlo came out there with a lot of aggression. He kind of reminded me of Sean Porter last night. And I was just kept overlooking this fight because I thought Harrison was winning the fight, and after he got knocked down, I knew it was too late in the 11th round that he got winded and stuff like that. So I know Charlo was gonna win the fight by the knockdown, but I had Harrison clearly winning the fight. But I just started overlooking that fight now because I know Charlo got the belt, but I just don't see Charlo beating J-Rock. Definitely not.
Dan, we're going to have to get back to JT. You got about 30 seconds left. We got to restart on the Skype. In the meantime, we're going to go back out to our phone lines. You can call in 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion. We will get back to everybody on Skype. Don't forget, you can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. We're going out to California.
Mr. Infojo.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Infojo.
presented by my brother.
Yo, good morning, fam. Hey, man, I agree with everything Donald from Richmond was saying, man. I had Charlo losing the fight. I only gave him like maybe the knockdown round and maybe another round, maybe 3 tops, if anything, because maybe one couple of swing rounds. Man, Harrison had the fight won, man. He was bullying the bully. Most of the fight, he was walking Charlo down. Lead right. He was popping him cold with them lead rights, man. Left hooks and left to the body, man. He got cocky and he got sloppy, man. This dude, man, he going to be kicking himself in his ass. If he just could have boxed the last 2 rounds, he would have won the fight hands down to me, man. Charlo, he was in Charlo's head, man. Charlo came in that ring emotional, swinging for the fences and was missing a whole lot, man. But shout out to him. He got the win. Can't take that credit from him. He did get the knockout, man. But he was being outboxed and he was being bullied, man. Whoever thought that Harrison would be not walking his ass down, getting off on him? Inside game. I don't think Tony Harrison had an inside game. He had an inside game better than Charlo, man. Sitting right in the pocket, didn't move, and it was his fight to win, man.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, Harrison is my man. I know him for a long time. We got a good personal relationship. But I think you guys are giving him too much credit. Like, I know he looked good, but this is the story of his life, brother. Like, tell me you didn't have him winning the Hurd fight. Tell me you didn't have him. You didn't have him winning the Willie Nelson fight. Like, this is what happens to Harrison. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, we mad because it was on a high level and he looked good and we like, damn, he was almost at the finish line. But this is Harrison's story. Unfortunately, later half of the fight, they wear him down and he gets knocked out. Like, that's his story. But Joe, let me get back to JT Mac. JT Mac, man, we had a Skype failure. You got about 30 seconds left on the clock from your last call. Talk to us.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's cool. Look, I don't know what all you heard, but like I said, I had Harrison winning the fight. He gassed out late in the 11th round and got stopped by Charlo. But what I was saying, the last caller called talking about Jermell Charlo stepping up fighting Danny Garcia. Now I think he need to stay at 154 because he gonna have some issues with J Rock when they fight, and I think J Rock will beat him. And I seen that based on how he fought uh Harrison. I think Harrison was the better fighter that night. Out the two, better skill. He just lost the fight, got gassed out. That's my call.
All right, and for anybody that was paying attention to him, he said Danny Garcia. He meant Daniel Jacobs. It was part of Mr. PBC call. He wanted Jermell, 154-pound WBC champion Charlo, Lions only, to move up and face Daniel Jacobs, who just fought Julio Cesar Chavez at heavyweight, but he weighed in at 168. So I just think Dom, maybe thought about the wrong Charlo. Maybe think Dom was thinking Jermall Charlo, not Jermell Charlo. But let's go out to Queens City. Cobra, Anthony Edwards, what it do?
What up? What up?
What up, champ?
So, man, that was a great fight, right? That was a great fight. But three things I noticed. Technically, Tony Harrison is the best boxer in 54. You know what I'm saying? And with that, you're right, though. That's the story of his life that, he just always does something stupid or gasses out at the end of the fight. And I'm just like, I thought he got over that hump after beating Charlo the first time, even though most of us thought Charlo kind of won. But it was a close fight, so you give it to him anyway, right? And I don't know if he really got into Charlo's head. I think his game plan was to really just go in there and do that because it didn't seem like he ever really got tired of throwing those big shots, So maybe that was just like, fuck it, that's what we're going to do. We're going to press it all night and try to knock this motherfucker out, and we got it. Harrison had it in the bag. And he showboat one time, cool. 2 times, I don't think so. 3, your ass get knocked out. And he deserved to lose for that dumb shit. He had it in the bag, and that shit was disappointing. And the third thing was like Charlo, he kind of sloppy. Like this might be the first time I'm questioning Derek James as a trainer. Not that he can't get a guy motivated, not that he can't get a guy to win, but the polish ain't there. Like you can see the polish on Tony Harrison, the way he was putting them shots to the body, that smooth ass jab, the way his footwork, the defense. Charlo just ain't got that. And I think that lands on Derek James. I think they need to go back to the drum.
Bruh, I haven't seen a dude win a fight and get this much critique. Wow. This is strange. Let's go out to a ringer in Alabama.
I don't believe no motherfucking beat me. And I'm not supposed to. My nephew is an elite fighter. So he ain't gonna, he wanna fight the guy that's proven himself and a guy that people think he can't beat. And that's how you get paid. Right? All right?
Riddick, Bo Mack, and Bo Jackson, man. It's Bo and Bama. Hey, how my audio sound, man? I'm driving.
You don't sound the best, but we gonna deal with it.
All right. Yeah, it went exactly the way I expected it to go, to be honest, bro. I felt it had the Wilder Fury effect. And when I say Wilder Fury, I mean boxer versus puncher. I really like that fight when I use the boxer versus puncher example. But Charlo chased him around. Actually, Harrison had Charlo on the back foot a lot of the fight as well. That surprised me, to be honest. But Charlo was looking for that knockout, man, and he got it. Harrison was talking too much shit, and that's just how it go, man. I had Charlo win the first fight. Charlo on the judges' scorecards was winning the second fight as well, and it ended up in a knockout. It didn't even go to the judges. I don't think the showboating was the cause for him getting knocked out because he wasn't showboating when he got caught. So hey, man, props to Charlo. Did you see the fight live, Ness, or was you asleep?
Nah, I watched it live.
Okay. Yeah, it was suspenseful. I liked it. It was a dog fight. I don't think they need to do it another time, by the way. I would actually like to see Erickson Lubin versus Tony Harrison, and I would like to see Charlo versus like Jaime Munguia or somebody. But PBC, man, be doing the PBC thing. I'm really kind of getting tired of that as well, to be honest. But that's my call, man. Shout out Roger Mayweather.
I don't get tired to say PBC doing the PBC thing. Like, right now, they got more belts at 54 and more belts at welterweight. So they fighting each other. They're giving, like, that was a fantastic
90
fight.
seconds.
First time and second time, it was a fantastic fight. That was 2 top 10 dudes, one former champ, one current champ, or at the first time, it was a 2-time title challenger. You know, so it's like, I don't get it. Like, who the fuck is Jaime Munguia fighting over there? Who he won his belt from? Oh, that's right, a welterweight. And who got that belt now? Oh, that's right, a dude got it because he beat someone else for an interim and was elevated.
60 seconds.
Like, y'all, let's just talk about the fights, man. That whole PBC, Dazn, ES, like, I don't get it, man. It's who's giving us the fights. That's just the bottom line. Who's giving you the fight that you want? As many times per week throughout a calendar year as possible. You know, giving us one good fight, that don't mean too much or nothing. Black John, Skype, talk to me.
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's up, Ness? What up, everybody listening? Calling about the fight. I thought it was a great fight, man. I had a little closer than most everybody else. I had about 6-4 because those later rounds, you know, Tony wasn't really doing much work to the end of those rounds, so I was edging him towards Charlo.
10 seconds.
He had Harrison up. And then I was also saying, Charlo been pressing since Lubin knockout, so I ain't seen nothing different. So I wasn't surprised by the way he was fighting, but I had a thought that I couldn't figure out why he kept fighting on the back foot after he knocked him down, after pressing him. So I thought maybe, and maybe you can tell me something about this, I thought maybe he was relocating him because Tony wasn't really cutting him off. And then maybe he was hoping that we get him into those deep waters where Tony gasses, you know, hopefully get the knockout like he did last night. Because he wasn't deterred in his attack at all. He kept doing those 1, 2s, and 3s. So, but yeah, I thought it was a good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I wouldn't mind seeing Charlo versus Hurd too if he didn't move up. So, and I do think he'll have some problems with J-Rock, but I'm a Texas boy, so I'm going to back him through and through. But yeah, that's my call, man. I just thought it was a good fight, and thanks for doing this morning, bro.
Black John, man, thanks for calling in. Thanks for giving your thoughts. You said Charlo and Hurd, that would be interesting. that would be interesting. We would definitely find out how big of a puncher Charlo is because Hurd is there to be hit, and he's a big boy that absorbs a lot of shots. But we got to see how he does, man. He's about to fight like a 140-pounder at 54. I mean, but like, look, you know, I'm supposed to say that. I'm supposed to tell you he's fighting 140-pounder at 54, just so you know the facts. But if that's my fighter, you know, I kind of want him to have the easiest fight back. Let him go through the motions. You know, he had a rough fight with Julian. It was physically rough, and it was probably a little bit mentally rough. You know, to lose your belts in your hometown in front of all those people. You know. Everybody thought you was the man, and then this dude that, you know, people wrote off comes back and does it to you in a good way. Brandon, Cincinnati, what it do?
Hold on, let me get you off Bluetooth. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm sad for Tony, man. It's like all 3 of his losses are fucking identical.
That's what
he
I
went in the fight. He went in the fight, outboxing people he's superior to. You know, he's a superior boxer to everybody he's lost to. More natural talent, more fundamentals. Excuse me, I'm running. I'm jogging and shit. I'm out of breath. But yeah, all three fights.
Well, one of y'all got too much background noise there. Let me see who's that. That guy jumping in is Rod and A70 ruining your call. What up?
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, all three of Tony's fight losses look identical, man. He's losing to us. He's losing the. He's winning the fight, boxing well, walking the guy down. He looked like the old Tony, boxer puncher, doing well. I had a 7-3 going into the 11th round. And like I said, all three losses look the same. And he's, the superior boxer, more fundamentally sound. And he just has a lapse of focus, makes a mental mistake, and he gets caught, and he is chinny, and he does tire out. And this whole time I was telling my girl, like, man, we say the same shit about Tony every loss. And I just got to thinking, like, man, just remember who brought him into the game. It was Emmanuel Stewart. And I'm like, man, I wonder if Emmanuel Stewart could have fixed that shit if he was still alive, man. Like, these mental lapses and shit, that's some shit like a world-class trainer like Emmanuel Stewart could have did.
Stewart would have fixed it because remember what he did for Vlad. Vlad was this great boxer, but he was perceived as chinny until he got with Stewart. And, Stewart would be yelling at him in the corners, begging him to go for the knockout instead of doing the boring shit that HBO banned him from after Stewart's passing. So sometimes you do need someone in your ear telling you to go for the kill, because that's the thing. I mean, Harrison was doing a lot of great work, but he never went for the kill. He was going always for the win, and Emmanuel was a big preacher of that. Like, yo, let that right hand go. You know what I'm saying? Knock this dude out. He understood that. Troy, Boomerang.
Good morning, man. It was a good fight. Harrison was thinking entirely too much. He thinks. He doesn't react because he has all the tools actually to beat Charlo or to give him a much better fight. But he just think. He was thinking entirely too much. So I guess he has to work his way back. And congratulations to Charlo. I don't know where either man goes from here, but I was watching that fight just getting frustrated because there was points in the fight where I was like, is this man going to jab? Is he going to do something? He's just walking him down, but he's not doing anything. And then Charlo was letting him walk him down, and the man wasn't throwing a punch. But Tony Harrison, actually, I'm going to agree with you on something. You mentioned Klitschko. He's similar to that. He's very, very slow to react. It's just simple math. You see it, hit it, move. Huh?
I said, I'm listening.
Right, because you were talking about, Klitschko and how he was born. And so, yeah, well, those are the fighters that are slow to react. It's like they see it, but it's not the right time for them, and then they don't throw the punch. Everything has to be the right time, the right setup, and then they throw the punch. That's not how boxing works. You got 3 seconds. You see it, hit it, move. You don't have nothing's going to set up perfectly for you. Nothing. It just don't work like that. But it was a good fan fight, man. Good fan fight. Hopefully we get some more TV fights.
All right. Let's go on out to Lids Low, the ringer. Talk to me, Decatur, Georgia.
Hey, what's happening there?
What up?
Cool. Hey, so I got one question for you real quick. Is it yes or no? Would you like to see a third fight between Charlo and Harrison?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
Okay, cool. Me neither. That's what I was calling for right after the fight. Real shit. Far as Harrison, I ain't really got no problem with. Only thing I didn't like is that he did kind of, I guess, start feeling himself because you know what I mean. The jab was working and whatnot. And them later rounds, hey, if you look at round 9, I believe 9 or 10, they probably were 9. If you look in Charlo's face, you can see he like, God damn, man, I might finna lose this hoe again. But I want to speak on Derrick James right quick. Now, mind you, I come from the Roger Mayweather, so I like a coach to get in somebody's ass. Bruh, when you in the late rounds of a fight and your goddamn man is not goddamn winning, or he barely winning, or whatever the case may be, man, Derrick James don't have that set a fire under somebody's ass kind of attitude. You feel me? Like a Roger, I hate to compare to Roger Miller, but Roger, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who goddamn like, bro, what the fuck is you doing out there? You understand me? You losing, bro. Like somebody need to tell the man something. I don't like when coaches be so cool about a motherfucker not doing good, knowing that they could do better. Now, speaking of Derrick James, I believe this is Bo Mack that said this once before. He said there's nothing special about Derrick James, and mind you again, I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying he said that Charlo and Spence train the same way. He like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to it. It's the straight come forward, use your power, basically.
Cut it, cut it, cut it.
We got Oliver, Cincinnati. Talk to me.
Yo, I just want to say real quickly, kudos to both fighters. I enjoyed it. They fought exactly like they talked. I was pleasantly surprised the way that Harrison fought when he was walking down Charlo. It's only been recently that Charlo been this knockout artist. When he was with Shields, he was more of a boxer. I thought that could have benefited him. But I just enjoyed the fight. I was telling my wife as we were watching it that Charlo's probably going to win it, even though Harrison earned it, which would have been a flip of how I saw it the previous fight, which would have made for a great trilogy. But since he got the knockout, I don't really see that happening anytime. But I hope they both continue. I definitely became a fan of Harrison. I didn't follow him too much. And that jab and his defense is really something nice to see. So kudos to both fighters. That's my call.
Going out to Pat in Beantown. Going once, twice. Stunner, talk to me.
Yep.
Yep.
Yo, what's good, man? All right, so fight yesterday was crazy, man. I was going for Charlo. Then I seen this nigga Harrison's entrance. Then I was like, fuck, I want Harrison to win. That shit was crazy. That shit was mad lit. As far as the fight, I had Harrison up. I was surprised to see him walking him down. One of the things I feel like Charlo needs to go back and look at is that Charlo was doing best in the fight when he was actually countering Harrison. But I don't even think Charlo realized that he was countering Harrison. I think it was just him swinging. But when he was countering Harrison, that's when I felt like he looked his best. Going forward, immediately after the fight, I wanted the rematch. I was like, fuck it, I want to see this shit a third time. But I thought of a better idea, right? First, now, granted, I'm not a Dazn fan, right? I think Dazn should pay Harrison to go and fight Gia for the WBO title. I think Charlo should go do the unification with J-Rock after he does, his upcoming fight. I think that because I know that Jarrett Hurd wanted the immediate rematch with J-Rock, but I think that because I think Jarrett Hurd's like rated number 1, but he's
Cut it, cut it, cut it.
All right, we going to Justin in New Jersey. Talk to me.
What's going on, you guys? But earlier in the show, I heard you mention, I don't know, if there's any fight that someone won that took that much BS for, but just look at the, Richard Colin fight. That guy, he rabbit punched him, and then the guy's, ill or something now, and he gets, suicide messages every day. But I took notes for the fight. I'm not going to take him out right now, but I had Charlo 3 rounds. But if I was in the corner of Harrison and someone told us in Daniel Jacobs' corner, you don't need to steal the round when you won the round, especially with the chin of Harrison. When you won a round, you don't need to go stand there, and he was doing a good job on the inside at times, but you don't need to stand there on the inside and trade hook for hook with Charlo when you have just a little better of a chin than Amir Khan. But shout out to Jermell Charlo for rising up to the occasion in the championship rounds. But in that fight, we saw that, people are talking about him versus Canelo, Triple G, but maybe he can beat Triple G, just maybe, but I don't really see it because he's got skill and everything, but it's just kind of sloppy the way he throws and everything. I mean, maybe he fought out of anger tonight, but in a couple of his other fights, we see him fight like that at times. But my YouTube channel, Justin Jr. 962. I'm gonna go watch the show more. Peace.
Justin, man, thanks for calling in. Gabe in Salt Lake City, you have not pressed 1. I'm gonna go to Evan. Talk to me. Evan.
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, sorry about that. Shit, I'm gonna be honest, man. I fucking loved this fight. I was at work, so I had to watch it at my job, which sucked. I would have rather been home for it, but I'll try not to show any Texas bias. I mean, Harrison looked tough as fuck getting up after the first knockdown. Think he was testing Charlo's chin too. I personally haven't seen Charlo get hit with that many uppercuts before. His 1-2s were on point. They were both. That was a good ass fight. I don't know if I would go for a rematch. If the undercard was right, I'd see the rematch. But going forward, I think like everyone's saying, J-Rock gives Charlo problems. He seems just more like a grittier Harrison. What he beat Hurd at his own game, if I'm remembering correctly. So if he brought that type of inside work that I was working on Charlo, he definitely has more power than Harrison, I'd say. That'd be a pretty fun fight to watch too. That's really it, man. That shit was awesome though. I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me call.
No problem. Rod in A70, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man?
I think it was a good. Rod, can you get off of that shit tooth? Because it ain't good.
Shit tooth. Hey.
Goodness, what is going on? But you in the truck right now?
Yeah, I'm in my Jeep, man.
Rolling through the Jeep. All right, talk to us, man.
Can you hear me better?
I mean, we hear you in the, I don't know, it sound like the window down or something, but just go for it. Just go. Hopefully while you talk, we don't hear the wind.
Okay. Well, I think it was a good fight for both fighters. I think both did what they do well. Tony Harrison boxed like a motherfucker, and Charlo landed thudding punches. His punches were more effective. And like I told Mike last night, he landed some good body shots that I think was counted with the judges. And if you heard Harrison after the fight, he said, man, he hit me with some hell of a body shots. I was trying to keep on my poker face. So for everybody saying Charlo needs to do this and that, he fought his fight. And this time, his style of fighting won his bout. So we just have to take it as that. I do think J-Rock would beat Charlo. J-Rock is a Tony Harrison with more power. That's my call, man.
All right, Rod and 870, thank you for calling in. We got Bruce. Bruce, talk to us.
How are you?
We're good, Bruce. Where you calling in from?
South Africa.
South Africa. Shout out to you. Talk to us.
Yeah, I almost missed the fight because I didn't know what time it was. It's normally 6 o'clock in the morning. This one was 5 o'clock in the morning. So I got it in the second round, but just before the knockdown. Good fights, nonetheless. I was just disappointed. I was supporting Tony Harrison, and I don't think he fought the right fight at some of the rounds where he took those big punches from Charlo. But moving forward, I think Charlo should fight the Teixeira guy, Patrick Teixeira, the WBO champion. Then he has 2 belts. I think he'll beat him easily before he fights J-Rock. And then they fight J-Rock, and they fight 2 belts each. Unification, undisputed for the division. That's my call. Thank you.
All right. Well, shout out South Africa. Thank you for calling in. Let's see who else we got on the line. Going out to Boomerang Stainless, Detroit. What up?
Yo, back for my boomerang. Yeah, man. Like I say, I thought it was a decent fight, man. Harrison did a better showing of himself. I'm with Brandon in Cincinnati. Like he looked like the Harrison that we expected. I just wish he said like he let off the gas, but I think he just kind of gassed out. I mean, he did better this fight than he did the last fight in his Jared Hurd fight. Like he lasted longer, but them histrionics that he was doing, them kind of cost him the fight, man. He let off the gas and started slipping up, and he beat himself long before Jermell did. But all in all, man, good fight. Personally, I would love to see a third fight. It was a highly active fight, action packed fight. Plus, with the build up, from the press conference and everything, like it didn't really need a lot of promotion, because we were all ready to see that fight. So I would love to see a third fight. If Charlo fought J-Rock, though, I think it's more 50-50 now than it was before. Before this fight, I had Charlo beating J-Rock, but now I think it's more 50-50. But that's all I got. Again, thanks for this show, man. Please make sure you push the thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast, because it's TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, that's because you stupid. And shout out to El Camino. Peace.
Stainless, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Gabe in Salt Lake City.
Yo, what's going on, Ness? You hear me okay?
Perfect.
So, like I was saying with Andy Ruiz, same thing. I called the two losers in the first match were going to win the rematch just because we knew who Andy Ruiz was. We know who Harrison was. I was really impressed with Harrison, though. He kind of did that little, side dance that Mikey does that made him look, really composed throughout the whole fight. So I thought he was going to pull it off, but, Charlo, that power was just too much. The other thing is, once Charlo switched trainers, wasn't his trainer Ronnie Shields before?
Yep.
Yeah, I liked him a lot better, Ronnie Shields, I have to say. But he was more of because he was the boxer out of the two Charlos. Jermell was the big puncher, and now he's trying to be the big puncher instead of doing what he does. If he was the boxer, then the big punches would come. He was more patient, set him up with that jab consistently. And Nuts, my question for you is, because I know you're all into the betting, who would you think the bookies would make the favorite between Charlo and J-Rock? And that's my call. Hardest working podcast in the game. Go support. Leave a review.
Gabe, thanks for calling in. Obviously I got to put some stuff on that, like who would the bookies make the favorite? It would be depending on if the fight is right now. Or are we going to wait to see how Williams looks in the Jenison Rosario fight? Because every fight affects it. So, I don't know. I would say right now, based off J-Rock's last performance, they're going to make him the favorite. I think they'll make him the favorite. But then again, he also went down versus the other Charlo. And this Charlo continues to show a lot of power. We're going out to J-Mac Boomerang.
Yeah. I'm on agrees with a lot that you keep saying. You hearing guys critique a little bit Charlo, the guy who lost, because a lot of people are telling you how they saw the fight. We saw the fight. We saw Harrison do something different than what he did in the first fight and took it to him, and Charlo was on the back foot. Charlo looked good on that back foot to me. Hold on, Jay. Like Stunner said earlier that he didn't even know he was countering. I'm gonna call Derrick James out too, because I don't know if Derrick James know how to make the adjustments and stuff like that. I see them got fighters fighting the same way and stuff like that, and Charlo need to be more refined in what he have and not lose what he had before he start training with Derrick James. So I'm looking forward to see what he gonna do. I do, after watching that performance, have J-Rock a tad bit over him in that unification if it does happen and stuff. And he don't need to do a three-peat with Turner and Harrison, because he should be focusing on unifying the division. For his F.A. Ajaba last night, I know I got a lot of smoke from some of my haters who hate on F.A., but after the second round, he showed a few chinks in his armor, and I just hope he get down and keep training and tighten up them skill sets, because he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Still got that power. I do hit label him the second second hardest hit in the world heavyweight.
It's funny you bring him up, man. I was like on the brink of doing an immediate reaction to that, man. It just kept getting later and later, though. These fights come on so late. Because I felt like, damn, we always doing one on Dubois, man. And I have a lot of thoughts on the FA fight for sure. A lot of thoughts on that. But, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Morning Afterthoughts. Catch me tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be doing the flagship show, serving up that crow for everybody. I know I got to eat some crow. So, probably a lot of us, Mike has the list. Smoking Jay Franklin, as far as the live fight chats, bro, Mike got a channel now, man, so he doing his own thing and ignoring my texts when I say, we going live. So it is what it is, man. He could do live. I'll do immediate reaction. It is all good. We'll be back 7 p.m. Flagship show. Join us. Don't forget. Oh, don't forget. That's right. Thank you, CYP. You the man. See, even when he ain't, you think he not listening, he listening. Let me refresh this. We got. Let me see where I left off at. All right, CYP comes in and says, how many times will we talk rounds when your hate gets your guy knocked out? I was there live, and the Detroit fans agreed he was losing before the 11th. Mr. CYP back with another one says, Vlad was up versus AJ. UK fans don't give two shits. This is why the LWBC was created. For all you cup half empty jealous fans, and you're actually wrong. Anthony Edwards says, I like Lil Justin. All right, and we got CYP called in, I believe. Yes, he did. Go.
No. I told you my voice gone. But I'm going to come back tomorrow and get all you bitch-made ass niggas who is hating on Charlo. I got y'all tomorrow, man. CYP out.
On that note, TBB out. Peace.